right in the old eyeballs. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. Basically in this video I'm just going to be telling you some like spooky or like disturbing facts. There's not too many, but I thought it'd be like a fun like Halloween spooky-esque style video. So yeah, and yeah, I just wanted to send some spooky vibes to all you guys. Okay, let's get into it. This is my old one. There is a rogue black hole in our galaxy. It's 5,000 light years away from Earth and has a mass 7 times greater than our sun. I'm going to take the mic cover off because I think it sounds better without it. There we go. It's widely believed that your hearing is the last sense you lose when you die. So it's a theory that after you pass on and you're no longer conscious essentially, all your other senses go and then you can still hear. So I think it's up to like 2 minutes after, so you could hear people talking about you having passed away if anybody was there at the time, which that makes me uncomfortable. Fir trees can grow in human lungs, which scientists apparently didn't know until they went to remove what they thought was a tumour from a man's lungs, and it actually was a fir tree. Which I'm like, bruh. There's a 1 in 3 chance police will never identify your killer if you're murdered in the US, which statistically, that is an insane amount of people, like especially considering how many people live in the US. That is mental to me. That actually blows my mind. I would be very interested to know what those statistics are for the UK, because there are less people. That's geese. I would be interested to see what that statistic would be in the UK, because obviously there's less people and it's a smaller island. But we do have some, obviously there are serial killers everywhere, so, and killers in general, so it'd be quite interesting, that one actually. If the sun exploded right now, you wouldn't know about it for another 8 minutes. So we're all just 8 minutes away from the sun exploding. Which, by the way, when I was doing these, I was like, I think I had a bit of a crisis after. I was like, what? 20% of children report hearing voices, which, if you've seen on TikTok, there's a woman and she's got a list of reasons that she doesn't want kids, and I feel like that should be on there. Yeah, because I'm like, could you imagine, like, you're putting your kids to bed and they're like, yeah, but so-and-so said that, and you're like, who's so-and-so? And they're like, the person stood right beside you. I'd be like, bruh. There are about 40 super volcanoes around the world capable of claiming up to 1 billion lives, and we're about 24,000 years overdue an eruption, which you can see why I had a crisis after this, because I was like, eventually will be doing that. The dead outnumber the living 15 to 1. So if zombies came back, we've not got a chance in hell. In 1968, the dead outnumbered the living roughly 29 to 1. So could you imagine if there was a zombie apocalypse then? Absolutely not. Okay, this one. This is also the child thing where I'm like, got the cameras, this is not a vibe. But babies grow mustaches in their womb. Mustache. But I don't know. Anyway, babies grow mustaches in the womb that then spread to cover their entire body in hair called 𝔸𝕊𝕄ℝ. The body hair keeps them warm and helps regulate body temperature. Don't worry, they shed it before birth. Which, the thought that there's just a baby out there with an amazing mustache just throws me. In the 1800s, dentures were made out of real teeth of deceased people. Which I'm like, that just seems very intimate. Like, I'm curious to know if it was like, if it was donated to like a family member, like the teeth were donated to a family member, and that's how you got dentures, or if it was just random people in your area. And also I'd be curious to know how long after death do they pull them out to have them as dentures? Is it soon after, or is it like, do they wait? I'm curious about that one. A human head remains conscious for about 20 seconds after being decapitated. So you could be like, be decapitated and then be like, oh my god, I've been decapitated. Like, what? This one, I was like, it's not really that spooky, but it just looks interesting. Climate change is making spiders bigger. Which I was like, that explains so much, because it's spider season in the UK. Two Scottish surgeons originally invented the chainsaw to assist childbirth. Which I'm like, and now they use to cut down trees. Mental. Our eyes remain the same size from birth. However, our noses and ears never stop growing. That one's not necessarily spooky, I just find it interesting. The eyeball is actually the same size. Woodpeckers would eat brains if they get too hungry. So, from what I read, it was that, so basically if they can't find food the normal way, they'll peck caterpillars' brains out until they've eaten it all, basically. The longest time between two twins being born is 87 days. The story behind this one was that one of them was premature, so had to go into the NICU, and then they just left the other one in there because they were separate sacks, which is interesting. A quarter of all your bones are in your feet, which is just like crazy when you consider how small a portion of your feet actually take up in reference to your whole body. It's interesting that a human body could swim through a blue whale's veins, so you could really just like be swimming. Is that, no, sorry, I thought that was something covering my camera, but I think it's just where the light cuts off. Oh, I just looked like a fool. Lego has an underground vault with all the Lego sets ever made. I know that one's not necessarily like weird, but it's very interesting nonetheless. Another US fact, so I need to know if the US is okay. There are about six US nuclear weapons that are currently unaccounted for. Like, where are they? Cruise ships all have a morgue for all the passengers that inevitably die If you fell into a black hole, you could see the start and the end of the universe, Big Bang and all. See, that would just make me want to throw myself into a black hole. I mean, you would be dead, but it would be theoretically interesting. In toddlers, their adult teeth are right under their eyes, which I knew they were above the small teeth, like their baby teeth, but the fact that it says it's under their eyes, I'm like, absolutely not. Schizophrenia can hit randomly from the ages of 15 to 26. If it's in your genetics, some people are totally fine, then bam, auditory hallucinations and delusions start happening. Obviously, it's possible to have schizophrenia before then, but since schizophrenia is triggered by adolescence and before the brain is developing, it usually occurs between the ages of 15 and 26, because 25, 26 is when your brain stops developing. Not developing, it's like fully developed, if that makes sense. Commercial flights often carry dead bodies. We also have situations where we have a live organ in transport to its new donor. The crew knows, but they're not allowed to tell anybody on board. So you never know if you're on a very special flight. And they also have more lab rodents, hamsters, rats and mice. Interesting. You're the most likely person to kill you as a friend or family member. So watch out for those. Your brain is inside of a skull. You don't have a skeleton inside of you. You are inside of a skeleton. Which, by the way, when I read that one, I just sat there like this, just thinking, if you live to become the oldest person alive, the entire population has been replaced in your lifetime except you. This one just weirded me out. Your skeleton is wet. Like, currently it is wet. That just makes me uncomfortable. Okay, last one, and this is just sad. When whales and dolphins get too old and weak to swim to the surface, they start sinking into the cold, dark depths of the ocean and suffocate. And on that lovely cheery note, I'm gonna say goodbye. But in all seriousness, I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Let me know if you learned something, because I definitely did watching the researching these. Yeah, very interesting nonetheless, and let me know if you actually also